Good evening. Well, developing news tonight around Caster Semenya, our 800 metres double gold medalist in the Olympic Games. It now appears that a lawyer representing her has said she may be able to run again and that the ban on her running, unless she took testosterone drugs, or drugs rather to lower her testosterone levels, has actually been temporarily removed because of other legal manoeuvres. Tabiso Sotolo, of course, joins us now from our sports sector. Tabiso, good evening. Okay, this doesn't mean she's in the clear. It means she's in the clear for now.
Of course, I think just for clarity, for the sake of our viewers, what has literally happened is that Caster Semenya appealed the ruling made by CAS, basically with the IWF, asking for the implementation of that, basically take testosterone to lower the levels of take a medication rather to lower the levels of testosterone. So what has happened since they put in the appeal a couple of days ago? The federal court, Swiss court, has come out and said, if that's the case, let us then suspend the implementation of that ruling by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, which was what the IWF had been asking for, until Caster Semenya's appeal has been heard. So as it stands, we do not know when, first and foremost, Caster's appealers will be sitting and whether Caster Semenya is going to run at all. In fact, that's why we have one of our media analysts, Stephen, on the lines, Manfred Seiler. Manfred, welcome to SABC News Channel. Thank you for joining us. Quick question right there as we discussed with Stephen. The ruling that has just come out literally a couple of minutes ago, what does that mean for Caster Semenya?
Good evening, Tabiso. Well, in essence, what it does mean is that she can, according, if I understand the ruling correctly, is that she can go out and run 800 metres again. Remember, she was banned to do 400, 800, 1500 and the mile, which is why she was down to run the 3,000 metre in the Prefontaine Classic, which is obviously quite an interesting development. If she still goes ahead with that, we'll have to wait and see. But in essence, if I understand the ruling correctly, it means that she's now able to run that 400, 800, 1500 and mile events again, which is interesting because if this ruling stays until IWF appeal it, she may very well just be lining up at the World Championships on the 800 metres, as has always been her want and her desire. So this is a really interesting development.
And I think, Stephen, what the question then coming to Manfred there is that how long do we expect, Manfred, for this to go on for? I mean, for the appeal to sit, because that could open the door, Stephen, to Caster running that 800 metres at the World Championships.
Well, Tabiso, I think that principle, that's really what she's trying to do. I mean, she wants to run in her own event, obviously, which is the 800 metres. She wants to defend her title. And as she's continuously said, you will not tell me what to do. You will not make me take drugs, which in itself is a whole new debate that's basically been going around the world right now, and it has opened a whole nest. I do not know how long this suspension will be on for, the suspension of the IWF ruling. That, I suppose, we'll have to wait and see. One would hope that this is sorted one way or another before the World Championships, because it's not something that any athlete wants hanging over their head, this uncertainty. How do I prepare? What can I prepare for? Yeah. Will I even be there? These are all big factors. Is this the end of my career? Is it not? These are huge ramifications that are out there.
Yeah. Manfred Seiler, thank you indeed for joining us. I know it's short notice, but as you heard there, Stephen, a lot to come out of this, especially with the ruling now. As Manfred said right there, speaking to him, is that the reality is Caster has a possibility that she can run in her favourite events.
And Tabiso, I mean, the question then, of course, is her hunger. And we've seen at every opportunity she's had to run. Straight after that last judgment, there was that night in Dubai. Off she went. And, of course, as they say, other people, she was checking in when other people were still running. So the chances are she does have the hunger.
Look, Caster has always been one of those athletes. I mean, since day one, she's always said, you'll never break me. I'm in it for the long run. I mean, as you heard Manfred say there as well, she's never given up on the fact that she can still go out and compete. Whether this will be the last hurrah, so to speak, depending on whether the appeal comes in time for the World Championships or not, I believe, given any opportunity, if Caster can run any one of the events right now, she'll go out there and she'll blitz the field for exactly that. And I think she wants that 800 metre record, and I think if she gets a chance to run the 800, she'll try and go for the world record, which is set by another character that a lot of people have been questioning, why is she allowed to keep that record?
Right, Tabiso, thanks very much indeed. A lot more stories to come, I'm afraid, one for the lawyers, but you and I as non-lawyers will talk about it as well. All right.